go.
Am I gonna go? Okay. So we met through a mutual friend on Twitter. We both used to engage with her separately, and one day she just decided that we should meet. Yeah, she literally tagged us in a tweet, and she was like, "At Leave the Candy and at Erythnotic, I think you guys would get along." So then I went and DM'd her, and I was like, "What's that about?" And then we were just like, "I don't know," but then we just started talking from there. And a month later, we met at an event in Joburg, even though we were both living in Cape Town at the time. And yeah, we started talking, hanging out, and it's just history from there.
Yep, exactly what she said. Yeah. We've been non-monogamous from like the get-go. When I met Ndumi, she was dating someone else, and then the three of us sort of like went at it for a couple of years.
Yeah, like 3 years or something.
And in the most recent years, we've also kind of like, been meeting people outside also. So, yeah.
Yeah. Basically that.
Polyamorous. I identify as a polyamorous person.
Yeah, me too. And basically what we've been doing is just, obviously as Tata mentioned, I was already open, so I was already like seeing other people, and we entered our relationship, and we were like, I already have a partner, but we're gonna carry on seeing other people outside of this as well, just like we're growing with it. And then, it just had to be like a whole lot of talking and navigating and understanding each other's versions of polyamory and what that means for us together as a couple. Because one thing to be like, I'm poly, and then does it work together? So a lot of talking, a lot of negotiating, and then it changed also when you go long distance. That's like a different version of polyamory altogether now, because you're like apart and there's other new different factors you'd never considered before when you were together in the same city. It's been fun. For me, it's been my mental health. So when I'm not okay, I'm not able to engage in like lots of relationships, but also it's sort of difficult when like Tatsu's like really far away or was far away, and I'm trying to be supportive, to be like, engage and like meet people, because you need that kind of space, you need to meet people and be with people, but also at the same time I'm like, I'm going through a terrible time, I just need like, so it's been, for me, the most difficult part is to not be selfish in the non-monogamy, but also having to know when to ask for help and when to be like, sure, this is not gonna work for me in this way, even though it used to work for me before because I'm in this particular space now. Can we renegotiate and rework where we're at, how we're gonna cope going forward, and then just always constantly being open to being like, our non-monogamy is going to change, like it's not always going to look the same every time. So that's like, I think for me been because I don't like change, so it's hard to be like, oh, things are changing, this is a good thing or a bad thing, but having to understand that it's,
because in the beginning we started out with quite a few like presumptuous, I don't want to say rules, like like sort of boundaries, and then sort of as you go and as you actually like live your truth and live out, you see like where some things in theory sound great, but then in practice, are not as effective. So then you sort of kind of, evolving as you experience, and just making sure to keep the communication lines as open as possible, so that there's always a constant or like a regular kind of feedback and flow between us.
Yeah.
So fortunately, when I met Ndumi, I was like, dating intentionally. Like I was very intentional with like, am I just looking for companionship, or am I looking for a life partner, or like I was quite clear about what that looked like for me. And so when we started, we didn't start out as like serious off the bat, but in getting to know each other and in getting to be with each other, I realized that this is actually the kind of life partner that I would want for myself, and sort of realizing that, and then sort of kind of putting it to the relationship to see, like, so let's see, like, would you be keen to stay with me? Would you be keen to, like, I also look forward to raising children with her. I think she would be a great co-parent, and it's nice to have a companionship, or to be in a companionship with someone where, like, yes, the romance and all of that stuff is great, but just like as a person, like, this is my vibe, like, even if she decided she didn't want to be with me romantically anymore, I would still hope that she would be open to, like, co-parent with me, because, like, I think that's the kind of person I would want to have that kind of lifelong commitment with, outside of just, loving on each other and the other corny kids that we do when we like.
And for me, for me, non-monogamy doesn't equal, like, not committing to one person or multiple people. So the assumption that because you're non-monogamous you'd never commit to someone is a difficult one for me to navigate, because people have been asking, why get married? Because we want to spend our life together for as long as life allows us to be. And that also doesn't mean that we also won't be engaging or meeting other people. This is just our journey, and it's involving, like, cohabitating and co-parenting and co-lifing, and it's just really nice. And then what does it mean for non-monogamy, polyamory going forward?
I always say, like, for me, my polyamory is not a relationship status, right? My polyamory is a part of my identity. Even if I never date another person until the day I die, I would still be a polyamorous person, because whether I am dating somebody else depends more on my state of mind at that time, my energy, my commitments, my priorities. Like, for instance, right now, I can't imagine when I am 9 months pregnant, I would still have the energy to be swiping on Tinder. Like, I don't know. I mean, you never know. I'm not saying don't expect that. I'm not saying rule out that possibility. But you like, there's certain circumstances where things happen, life happens, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't have the capacity to be extending myself to other people. That's the only thing that determines whether or not I'm seeing other people, not necessarily whether I'm engaged or single,
or seeing someone, or how serious our relationship is at that time. Or so, like, as Tatsu was mentioning, it's part of my identity. Like, it's always, like, there. So even if I'm not actively seeing other people, just one day, just might wake up and be like, you know what, I'm looking to just try and meet someone, whether it's casual or serious. The nature of the relationship also would depend on my priorities at that time and what the other person also wants. So I can't go out and be like, I just want casual relationships everywhere, and then everyone is like, I just want to marry somebody. Like, it really has to also be a give and take of, like, what the other person also is looking for, what my partner in the space is currently navigating and dealing with as well. So it's just, all that's changed now. It's just like, I'm not operating in a vacuum. I can't be like, just Ndumi, what do you want? And it just works for me. It has to just be like, you're considering just more factors, which I think a lot of polyamorous people face, regardless of whether they're married or not. Once you're partnered up, things just start to become, oh, it's me and them. I gotta consider them as well. So it's just that,